welcome to Coffee with Cassie. Today we have with us Jill Conan, and she's a counselor here at JCCC. Thanks for being with us today, Jill.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So today we want to talk about personal health, and we'd like to have you share some tips about personal health and how that can be helpful to successful students. I know that was a struggle with me when I was in college, just trying to make sure that I am getting enough sleep, that I'm drinking enough water, eating healthy. Do you have any tips about how to better maintain that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, being a college student is a really difficult time in your life. You know, it's a real pivotal time where you're a lot of times financially responsible for everything. Suddenly, you know, whether if you're graduating from high school or sometimes our students are, you know, coming back to school after being in a career already and having a career change. So it's a very stressful time either way you look at it because it's change.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have a lot on your plate. Many times our students are working full-time or part-time. Family responsibilities, whether it be a traditional age student or non-traditional, because many times our traditional students are helping out with siblings and family, you know, helping to pay things at home. So it's just a really stressful time. And then not only that, but you're supposed to figure out what you're going to do for the rest of your life, or you feel that pressure. And so it brings a lot of stress, I think, to students. And so many times with all those things on your plate, you put yourself last. Okay, so that, you know, that means, you know, the first thing to go is sleep. You know, I hear that from students all the time. And I remember as a college student, I did that. You know, you don't get enough sleep. Many of our students are working nights, you know, so when are they supposed to sleep? So not eating right, just not taking care of themselves, putting themselves last. Of course, those physical things, you know, physical health, you know, comes first, but it also plays into that, the personal wellness. And so, you know, getting enough sleep, that's huge. And it's really hard to do, but you got to make it happen, because if you don't sleep, a lot of times that brings on, you know, anxiety and depression. And then, you know, eating right. You know, I remember as a college student eating, you know, drinking a Coke and having fruit snacks for lunch. I just remember doing that.
Yes, morning classes.
And it was okay.
I see energy drinks.
Yeah, energy drinks all the time. They come in my office with those big energy drinks. But you need to take that time to, you know, eat throughout the day. And, you know, another thing is a lot of times financially, you know, I wanted to point out that, you know, a lot of times they don't have money for food, or they're eating one meal a day. So I wanted to point out that we have the food pantry on campus. And that's in OCB 274, and that's for anybody in the campus community to use. So a lot of times our students will use that. But it's also important to, when you are that busy, because you're trying to, you know, you've got school, you've got work and family and all this other stuff, to take time for yourself, because everybody needs that time to recharge. And so many students come in and they try to, you know, do full-time school, working full-time, trying to do it all. But guess what? They're going to burn out, you know, doing that if they don't take that time out for themselves to recharge. And it could be simple things, taking a walk, you know, for even if you have 10 minutes you can carve out throughout the day, you know, that will help, because, you know, just taking a brisk walk will immensely improve your stress level. And it actually, just 30 minutes of exercise a day acts as a antidepressant. It really does. Like it has the same effect as taking an antidepressant and anti-anxiety medication. So it's so hard, and so many students say, I don't have time for that. Well, just take 10 minutes, you know, go for a walk. So exercise is huge to well-being. Also, making connections with people. A lot of times students don't have anybody really, and in order to be successful academically and have personal well-being, you need to have somebody to talk to. If you don't have that at home, and if you don't have that, you know, with your friendships, find somebody on campus. You know, that could be a counselor. That could be, I have a lot of students that have good relationships with their instructors where they just go check in. Just somebody that can kind of you can count on to be your another cheerleader for you. You know, somebody that can help you with believing in you and that you can do it, you know, that kind of thing. Because you do, a lot of times when you get stressed out, think, you know, I can't do this, you know.
Yeah.
The main things is to remember to take time out for yourself. Sometimes you have to learn to say no, because we all have those things where people are coming at you, everybody wants a piece of you.
Right.
Well, you need to take a step back and realize, you know, this is your life. You need to keep your stress levels at bay, otherwise it's going to turn into, you know, depression, anxiety, all kinds of different issues, or physical health issues. So you need to be okay with saying no sometimes. You know, if work is wanting you to take an extra project, but you feel like the walls are coming in at you, okay. can't do that right now. This is the time in your life where you kind of have to put yourself as a priority, to get school done. So, and a lot of times what I see with students is work is kind of what's getting, because they have such good work ethics, and they want to, please everybody. Everybody kind of does that. But then work kind of infringes it on school. So sometimes you have to set those boundaries, with not only friends and family, but work.
What would be your recommendations for someone who maybe already might not have established those boundaries, so now they might feel depressed, they might have this anxiety of having to juggle all these things? What would be your recommendation for students that have kind of already are finding themselves in that position? How can they go back to help get control of that?
Absolutely, and that's a really good point that you made, is you start to feel out of control. And I think that everybody has felt that way at some point in time in their life. And I think at that point, I would recommend that you reach out for help as far as, we have counselors on campus that can help with sitting down and kind of talking it through. What's going on, what do you have going on in your life? What can you cut back on? Can you clear your plate back a little bit? What are your, are you getting enough sleep? Somebody kind of from the outside to help you objectively look at that. And it could be just sometimes you just have to kind of unload and talk to somebody and kind of get it out. So that would be a big recommendation for me, is to ask for help. You can't do it alone.
Yeah. And can you speak a little bit more about that, where they can go to get that help?
Yes. At Johnson County Community College, the Counseling Center is a great resource. There's lots of different resources, but the Counseling Center is a great resource where we can help with kind of filtering out what areas they might need support in and referring them out, whether it be tutoring, or personal counseling. And we provide personal counseling as well as academic and career counseling as well. So we kind of will help with that. And then, of course, instructors as well. But sometimes they don't feel comfortable. A lot of times they don't feel comfortable talking to their instructors yet. I think they get more comfortable later on. It's a confidence issue a lot of times. A lot of times they don't have that confidence yet because it's new to them. So hopefully, I'm hoping that what they'll do is early on get a connection with a counselor, and then if they do, or somebody else on campus, and then if they do find themselves feeling that, sense of overwhelming feelings, that kind of thing, that they'll come in and get help at that early on, instead of later on. But yeah, they're just learning how to juggle all that, for the first time many times. So it just is a little bit different. For non-traditional students, these guys have families that they're, supporting. They may have had to, quit their jobs to be able to get in to do a certain program. So financially they're strained. So they have lots of stressors as well. But I think that a lot of times they tend to be more open to asking for help and to getting help, which is a great thing. And I think that in the Counseling Center we could help them as well with that, and also encourage them to talk to their instructors. So many times they're more confident about reaching out for help, but their stressors are just as real and just as heavy as traditional students.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, well, thank you so much for being with us today, Jill.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's all for today, but you can go to the Coffee with Cassie menu for more interviews with faculty and staff. See you next time.